Alright gang, welcome back to our Frugal Millionaire Challenge on Mazo. You join me, it's October, day 1. We likely will only be utilizing one day in October. Rain's in the forecast and is coming, but we don't have to do any kind of harvesting today, so it shouldn't really play too big of a factor for us here today. Now, we do have to do a lot of fertilizing. This is a big fertilizing day, so we'll be doing all of the fields that we have drilled here in the last 2 episodes all need to be fertilized with the second application. And just to give you kind of a ballpark of what I'm talking about here, it's a lot. So if we go into here, we've got to fertilize this field, this field, this field, this field, this combined field, this field, and this field. That's a lot of fields. Now, luckily, our fertilizer spreader is truly immense, so it shouldn't take too long. It really shouldn't. But having said that, you never know what happens, right? You never know what might happen. But, yeah, a lot of fields to fertilize. So I think what we're going to do is try to do this as methodically as we possibly can. So we'll go to this one, then we'll go to this one, and then we'll come down and we'll hit all of these, and then head down to that one. So I think it's the best bet. It's the best strategy for us, and that's what we're going to do. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully those of you that were in the path of the hurricane are clear and safe by now. I would assume it's dissipated at this point. I'm pretty sure that I'm recording this. Let's see. This will come out on Saturday. I'm recording this on Wednesday night. So I would assume by now it's probably pretty minor. It's just a normal storm, I think, at this point. But in any case, make sure you keep you and everyone safe. Like I mentioned before, luckily for me, when I was in Orlando, it really wasn't too bad. It was very, very windy, very rainy, but we really didn't have any major issues because we were so far inland. Now, I think the Tampa area had a lot more flooding issues, where we really didn't have that. At least where I was staying at, we didn't have that. So it was mostly just the wind and the ability for planes to take off and land that was causing the issues for me. So alright, let's just double check and make sure I did that A-okay. I did not do that A-okay. Sometimes I feel like I'm hitting everything and with this spreader because it's so wide, but clearly it's not the case. Now, one thing I wish I would have, and I think if I put on precision farming, it'll help show it, but I wish the mini-map here could be flipped to, like, say, you know, just if you're doing fertilizer spreading, have the map change. And this might be a PC thing you can do, but have it change where it'll show like this, right? I'm doing fertilizer spreading. I want the map to have an option where I can go to it and it'll show me bits that I've missed, instead of having to just keep going into the menu every single time. I don't know if that's just a console limitation or if that's the same thing on PC. And again, precision farming, I'm pretty sure it kind of does that because it shows you, you know, what's been hit and what's, you know, good ground soil versus not. But I just want it in the generic base game without precision farming turned on. Anyway, that's a minor complaint. Now, a couple notes real quick. The Erlengrat playthrough, campaign playthrough has just finished pretty much by the time this comes out. It's the day before it finished. I should have mentioned it in the video, but I didn't because, again, I had just got back from my trip and I was groggy. So I'm going to take at least one day off before we start the new campaign map. I want to give it a little bit of time. I want to try to get everything set up properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a Broke to Billionaire Challenge video in its place, at least one. We might do the whole week. I'll make sure I make a comment in the community tab or the post tab, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube, and I'll put it on the Discord as well so you know. But I'm going to take probably a 1 episode to 2 episode break between Erlengrat and the next campaign map, just to try to get everything set up properly and how I want it. So we'll inject some Broke to Billionaire Challenge playthroughs in place of it. So that will also help that series as well, giving it a couple more episodes here early on would certainly help us get a lot closer to our goal there. Again, I'm nervous about it, but I'm going to do everything I can to get there. I do believe this series is going to be very close to being done when winter arises or gets past. I guess when winter is over here. Once we get to around the March, April time period, which I think I mentioned in the last episode, I truly do think that this series will be getting close to coming to an end, which will certainly help us because that's not that many episodes. Now, if we do 2 per month, it is, but in the winter months, we likely won't be doing a whole lot of that. That's normally just during the harvesting and the actual planting or drilling season that we typically take. I missed that whole damn section. That we'd normally take 2 days, you know, so. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I guess that's kind of my area, but do I even really want to spend the fertilizer to do it? Fertilizer's not really cheap. I mean, I guess so, right? I guess so. Feels like a bit of a waste here, but... But anyway, again, hope you're all doing well and staying safe, so... Now, we've got $36,000. Now, what we can do with this $36,000 is potentially buy another small plot of land. I mentioned I was going to start saving the money to try to pay off the loan, and realistically, I probably should just be doing that. But I do know for a fact that, that's good enough, we're going to call that good enough, that our soup production has stopped. There's no more carrots in there, so we could use some more carrots in there to help, you know, buff that up, or beets or whatever, anything, parsnip, whatever, right? It would probably be useful to have that continue to go, because that's a constant income of money for us. Now, there is, before we start going to the right here and doing that, there is a few fields we could look at. One is this field right here next to us. I think it's a little bit too expensive for what we have. We only have $36,000. But there's a skinny one down here that I saw that I'm kind of eyeballing. It's a little bit further out this way, but that's okay. Not too big of a deal. It's this one, I think it's right here. Nope, it's this next one. This one right here. So there is this potential to grab this one. It's not a very big field, but it does have, you know, a number of carrots in there. They're 98%, so it's a good yield. We'll make a lot of the money back that it cost us to put this field in. So there's that option. So we'll have to think about it today. We may or may not do that today. It doesn't have any trees or anything with it, so it literally would just be a field purchase. But I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards doing it, but at the same time, I've got an inkling in my inkling. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess inkling could work. An inkling in the back of my mind that maybe it's not the smartest play because we may be close to finishing the series, like I mentioned, right? And if we are, then we're really not going to get our money out of it that we spent on it. Does that make sense? I don't even know if what I'm saying makes sense or not. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if we buy it, we put all the carrots into our production, right? We'll make a good amount of money off of that, but will it be the amount of money it cost us to purchase the field, right? Will we actually get an actual proper yield of money off of that field, or will it be something where we make a little bit of the money back, but technically in the long run we're going to be losing money? Probably will make us money in the long run, but I guess it just really depends on how close we're going to be to finishing this series. I should get more fertilizer. How close we will be to finishing this series when the time comes to drill or harvest that again, right? Because right now we won't be able to put anything in there for quite a while. We could put grass in there. There could be another grass field. I guess that would probably be beneficial to an extent, but other than that, we really can't put anything else in there, because if you look at the planting period and the harvesting period, it's grass and oilseed radish. That's all we can put in there right now until March. Well, yeah, March. February is cotton, so March. So I don't know. And then, you know, we've got the chickens going over there, so they're making us a small amount of eggs. We've got a lot of product in there that we're going to sell, but that's not, none of the product in there is really big money maker product, right? They're not going to make us a ton of money. We got wood chips that are going to be coming up here soon that'll be making good money. We probably could sell some right now and make decent money, but I bet it's only about half of what it really should be. You see, 545 is around the average best. It's at 274. So yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not, but it's about half, you know, half of what we could be making off of it. But again, we've kind of went through it before with selling the wood chips, and sometimes it feels a little unrealistic given the fact of how much money you make off the wood chips. So that's why I've always been trying to keep it, you know, reasonable. I mean, we haven't done wood chips in a long, long time on this series. It's been many, many episodes, with the exception of just putting them over there for our production, right? That's really the only thing we've mainly done with the wood chips. Of course, there's been a few things here and there one-off situations, but the big, massive bulk amount that we were doing for a while, that hasn't happened for a significant period of time. And it's raining. Here comes the rain, gang. We knew it was only a matter of time before the rain got here. So this will be a really quick time-lapse here, gang. Uh-oh, the worker missed a section there, and I didn't see it. Well, we just lost a tiny bit of money there. It's not really that much, but it is a little bit of money nonetheless. We'll put a bit of a tiny time-lapse in here, gang. It really is not going to be a very long time-lapse. 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And we'll get these fields done, and then we'll see where our silage bales are, and then it's probably going to be a mowing day. We're going to mow all that up there. Damn it, Byron, again, and Scarlet. Oh my gosh, these two. They're the worst! Every time. Every single time. I can't stand them! Alright, everything's put away back in the barn. I closed the door because it's raining and everything. Obviously, we don't want to get any more of that fertilizer wet than we have to. We need to head over to our other Fint. Here we go. And all the bales. I kind of screwed the bales up when I was bringing this over here. You can see they're kind of all over the place. But in any case, I messed them up. So it is what it is. Some of these looks like they're ready. Some of these are, well, they're not ready. They're 98%. So some of these are going to be ready today, but other ones are not going to be. The ones we did, obviously, in the last episode, 34%, those are not going to be ready. So I'm going to have to work through these a little bit. These are ready now. Well, except for this one, 98%. But these are only 5,000 liters, so I think I'm going to keep those there for now, just in case we need it in the future, well, or we can sell them later. So we're going to wait a little bit longer for the bales, unfortunately. So the only thing else left to do today is mow the grass and maybe take down some trees, but I talked about the trees and how I didn't really want to do that yet. So let's see what's out here as far as harvesting and stuff goes. There's not really anything that I love, if I'm honest with you. There's a couple things, but I don't love them. Really, what we need to be doing... Quick save here. Really, what we need to be doing... I mean, I could go to this harvest right here. That'll be brutal. We have the stuff for it, so that would make us a lot of money. But that field's going to gotta be massive. Especially with 120. Let's see. Before I start rambling, let's find 120. These field numbers are all over the place, so... give me a minute here. Bear with me for a minute. 120. 119, 118, and then 142. Where the hell is 120? I guess I should just look at it this way. This is probably going to be the easier way to do it. Find ones that are ready to harvest. 120. Yeah, that's a big field, gang. That's a big field. So, I don't think that's going to work. So, let's see other fields. We don't have a whole lot of money here, but we probably could buy a few of them. Ooh, that's sunflowers. We don't have a header for that. We could lease a header, I guess. What about these fields right next to us? That's corn in it. Yeah, that's corn. Now, there was the field right next to us. This field here. 54,000. Oh, because it includes that. Oh, never mind. I think we might have looked at that once before. So, yeah, I guess it's going to be grass at this point, gang. I mean, we could try to buy one of these other ones, but that might be the one to go with if we're going to get one. I guess that or 143, either one. 143 is a little bit cheaper. This one comes with, like, one tree. And takes all of our money. So, if we're going to get one, I guess that's the one to go with, huh? How long do we have to harvest these? Okay, we have a ways, actually. We've got a ways. So, maybe that's what we do, because we could harvest part of it today and part of it in November. Well, part of it in October, part of it in November, I should say. And that gives us a little bit of something to do while we wait on these to be ready. And then, hopefully, when these are ready, we make enough money to compensate. We've got almost 1 pallet of wool, but not quite enough yet. Their health is 95%. Why is their health at 95%? What am I missing here? We need to put some more grain in the chickens. I don't know why their health is at 95%. Weird. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, I guess it's a matter of harvesting this big, massive grass field. I mean, that's a lot of grass. It's going to be a lot more bales. We've done a lot of bales lately, but that's really where we're at for now. We can't buy this field yet, even though this field would be ideal because it comes with a lot of trees. Well, I say a lot. That's actually pretty scarce inside. It just looks like a lot. I mean, maybe we can get this field. But again, those are the same kind of things here, right? It's not really accomplishing what we're looking for here. So, let's see if we can figure out the grass. The biggest problem with the grass mowing is right now, our grass mower is not sufficient. It's simply not good enough. We really need another grass mower, a bigger grass mower. Is there anything in the used market? I didn't look at that yet today. No. There's some tractors out there, some nice tractors, as a matter of fact, but no. Okay, let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. All right, gang. So I've decided to sell our roller and our mower. We're not going to get a ton of money out of these, but we really haven't been doing the rolling for a while because, as all of you have mentioned, you're correct. I don't like rolling. We've talked about this many times. I haven't been rolling lately. When I've been drilling, we haven't really been rolling. Because you're right. You know, if I have a worker do it, I'm not really making a whole lot of extra. I mean, it's almost not even worth my time. So now we're not getting a ton of money. Like I said, we're just jumped from, you know, a couple $1,000s more. But hopefully that'll give us enough money to be able to buy a little bit better package for mowing, right? To make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Now, I'm not looking for anything spectacular. We may end up just going with this Batwing John Deere, but I'm just gonna peek and see what everything else is. Like, we could do the cutter bar, right? We could do that. Be a little bit more expensive than the Batwing, but I mean, it technically would give us a bigger width too, so it would mow it faster. If we go these though, we'd save a lot of time. 7, 8, 9 meters for $5, $6, $7,400. We might have to go with the old sickle bar stuff here, gang. We might give it a shot. Let's give it a shot and see how it goes. Let's give her a shot. I think it'll work fine. And it'll be much better than what we had. What we had was like 2 meters. So we're more than tripling our width here. Let's get back to the farm and let's get mowing here, gang. But before we do, I have found something. A water trailer. Man, there are so many collectibles on this map. I just saw this going by and I'm like, I saw that tub and I'm like, on the way in, I saw the tub and I'm like, there's got to be something under the tub. There wasn't, but there was something back here hiding, and the kids' little play area. So, oh, there's another one. There's another one. All right, well, now we know. Now we know where 2 are. So there you go. That just actually saved us a lot of money because we just got a little bit of money back from what we just spent. So, almost cost us nothing to upgrade to this now. I mean, we're back to pretty much where we were. Obviously a couple $1,000s less, but pretty close. All right, we'll see you at the farm. We're going to get mowing, put a time lapse in, get it done. Be back with you after that.
responsible.
Alright, that was a long time lapse. It did take a while to mow it, but I do believe it was faster than what we were utilizing by a lot. So that was good. Now we've got to get all of this grass windrowed up here just to make it easier on ourselves, especially for the baler itself. So we're going to work on that. Now, as far as the baling goes, I likely won't put any of that on camera today, with the exception of if I'm talking to you about whatever it may be. I've done a lot of baling lately. Maybe not necessarily so much grass baling, but we have done baling nonetheless with straw that we turned into silage. So, yeah, I don't want to bore you or overdo it with baling. I'm doing a lot of baling, so on this series specifically. So we'll just jump cut most of that baling, but we're going to get this windrowed up as well. Get it prepped and ready to go for us, and then when all of that's said and done, we'll get the baler out, we'll get to baling, and then we'll take a look at our silage bales and see if I can realign those a little bit better, because they are a bit of a mess, as I showed you. So I've got to clean that up a little bit too. It was a long time lapse, but it was good. It was good. This is going to be a lot of money for us right here. This is going to make us a lot of money. It really is. A lot of money. Still raining. I don't know when the rain is supposed to stop. While we're waiting on this really quick, let's just double check and make sure there's no contract out there that we want to do. I believe it's just all going to be harvesting still, which, yep, it is. Which we can do, but again, do we really want to? Probably not, right? Probably actually should, but I mean, after this episode here in October, in November, we're going to have absolutely nothing to do. Nothing. We have nothing. The only thing we can do in November, honestly, is sell some of our product and hope we get enough money to buy some fields that potentially have trees, and we can do wood chips. We do have the one field, but that one field doesn't really have that many trees on it, so it's not really going to allow us to get a whole lot else, which is the other reason why earlier on I was talking about potentially buying a field that has, you know, a root crop in it so we can harvest it. Oh, look, the rain stopped. How about that? So I'll tell you what, gang, let me get the rest of this done here. I won't put a time lapse in or anything like that. I already did a really long time lapse. There's no reason to do another long time lapse for you. That's a little overboard, I think. But I'll get all of this done, and then I'll be back with you when I get the baler out. We'll talk for a few minutes while I get a few bales going, and then we'll jump cut until the whole field is all done. And then we're going to have to get the fertilizer spreader back out, and put some fertilizer down here. And then this field will be done. I'll see you guys soon. Alright, I'm underway here, getting the baling going. Now, I talked about selling some of the bales. I keep rethinking the bales. Every time we talk about selling the bales, we rethink them. We did sell some in the last episode. I'm kind of thinking maybe I wait until the next episode in November to sell them. Mostly because well, silage doesn't really fluctuate that much, but it will be worth more money in November. And we've already talked about in November, we're not going to have a whole lot really to do unless we buy another plot of land, right? So this would allow us the ability to make some trips to sell bales in the next episode and probably make a good amount of money and then kind of see where we go from there. Hopefully we pay off the loan with the bales. I don't know if we'll make enough money off the bales or not to pay them off, but hopefully we do. Because if we wait till the next episode, we should have most of these bales, including the ones we're baling right now, as long as we wait long enough, should be all ready to sell as well, which means a ton of money incoming. We're going to have a lot of bales off this field. We've got a lot of bales in there already, as you can see. So I'm kind of leaning towards that, because this episode, while it's not necessarily super long, it is getting a little bit longer. And that, at least, if we wait, it at least gives us another objective in the next episode to accomplish, and selling all of those bales and, you know, going from there, I guess. May still change my mind, I guess, by the time I get finished with all these bales, but that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. And I know lately I've been really wishy-washy about these bales. That's why I want to just kind of level set with you all and let you know that I know I have been saying, well, we'll sell the bales, and then, what we'll do in the next episode. We'll do in the next episode. And I keep pushing it off, and off. But I just, the more I think about it, it just seems like it's a smarter play for the series itself, for the content. Right? That's kind of where I'm at for now. So let me get the rest of these bales done, and then we'll see where we're at as far as time goes on the episode, and if I stick with my my opinion here of waiting to sell the bales until the next episode. All right, well, we pretty much got the whole field done. I'm just going around here trying to pick up some scraps here to see if we can get ourselves to another bale here, because we're at 92%. There are some up at the corner that I think they got pulled a little bit out of our boundary zone, so I'm going to try to pull them back in. I'm not sure if it's actually going to work or not, but I'm going to give it a shot if we're not able to get a bale with what's remaining down here, which I don't suspect we will be able to. 95%, certainly not. There's some more scraps, obviously little tiny pieces here and there, and maybe if I went around and scrounged up all of it, maybe we could, but I would think it's very, very slim chance that we'd be able to. So we're going to utilize the old windrower once more here and see if we can pull the grass where we want it to be, and maybe we'll be able to get to a bale. So I think I've decided we're going to leave the bales. We're going to do that in the next episode. I'm fully on board with it now after I thought about it some more. So we're going to go that path. So apologies ahead of time for, well, I guess after time. It's not really ahead of time anymore, is it? But you get what I mean. I just think it's a smarter play for us. All right, let's see if that works. I'm gonna leave this here for right now. I don't want to take it too far and then have to go back and get it again if it doesn't work. I'm hoping that's enough to get a bale. It may not even be enough to get a bale now that I was looking at it, though. I don't know. Let's hope so. 95%. Okay, we get the 96 with just that little bit there, so it's definitely got to be enough. It's got to be. Perfect. All right. So we'll get that unloaded. We're going to go jump into another tractor really quick here, and we're going to get the fertilizer spreader out. And fertilize this field, and then we're gonna call it there. And then the next episode will be in November. And in November, we're gonna be selling. I would think we're gonna be selling a good amount of things. We'll be doing all the bales for sure. We're gonna get rid of all of the trees for wood chips. In our field that we do have that still has trees. I think one of our fields might have a few extra ones. And then obviously we have that I say big, that mini forest over there if we really have to use it, but I don't want to. So I mean, that's a very last resort, as if we're going to fail. But I don't think we're going to fail at this point, so... So let me go get the fertilizer spreader. Let me get back here. We'll spread the fertilizer on that field. It won't take but a few seconds. And yeah. We'll be done. Alright, we're off and going here. I know typically you wouldn't really do this in real life, but we're going to do it this way anyway. A lot of bales we got out of this field. Might not seem like it, but when we get over here on the other side of the hill here, you'll be able to really see how many we actually got. There's a lot. There's a lot. Now, I did spend a little extra money just filling this spreader back up with fertilizer just to make sure it was full. It was only about 600 bucks, but we did spend that money, and I want to be clear about that. So that's why the money dropped a little bit since... I left you. It's been a good episode, though. We made a lot of progress, right? All the fields are fertilized. A lot of fertilization that had to happen. Hopefully we find some harvesting, or, well, we could do harvesting now if we wanted to, but hopefully in the next episode we'll have some harvesting contracts, some fertilizing contracts, some kind of contract we can also do, because I think we're going to have less to do, again, unless we spend the money that we make from these silage bales. None of the crops or anything will likely be sold in the next episode just because it's not, you know, to be the best time to sell them. That's really going to be December, January. But some of our productions, some of the pallets of stuff, that might be ready to sell. I'll have to really look into that. I would assume some of them are. And then we'll probably sell wood chips, because it's not going to be best. I think wood chips are best in December, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong on that, but I think it was December. So we probably won't sell... everything next month, but wood chips will probably just start selling because they should be closer to what their average max is right now. Like we saw, where they're about half, right? Halfway of what the average is. The average best, I should say. But we'll see. Well, yeah, with that, gang, we're going to leave the episode there. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe button if you're new. It's free, helps me a ton. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, you know the drill. Let me know down below. Check my Discord out. All that good stuff, other channels, everything else. And until next time, I'll catch each and every single one of you in the next episode.